This video is sponsored by Skillshare. So I suck at planning, and I'm sure you've guessed by the title that we're going to plan together in this video. So we'll see how that goes. Part of the reason why I feel like I suck at planning now is because I am a new mom to a dragon. If you know, you know. And I don't think I was adequately prepared with how much of my time, of my own time, that I would lose as a mom, which has its pros and cons. I love losing track of time on stroller walks with my family or playing with my baby, but it sucks to lose out on time to eat and shower and work. There's been an adjustment for me. The birth of my baby was something that I was planning since even before I got pregnant. I had very specific preferences, wanted to give birth at home with the care providers that I chose and that had been supporting me through my entire pregnancy, and unfortunately had to transfer to the hospital and have a C-section due to circumstances outside of my control. And I've always used planning as a way to have control. I think we all do. And I haven't really been in control of anything since the birth of my baby. I've had to learn spontaneity. I've had to learn non-commitment, essentially. Just because I wrote something down in my digital planner, it did not mean it was going to get done or that I'd even have a chance to work on it, when that hasn't really been the case before. So since January, my planner has been pretty much untouched and empty. I do have a few things filled out here and there as I slowly get back into trying planning again, but in short, I suck at planning now. Because I have to be super selective with how I spend my time, I've been leveraging things like AI, automation, ads, like a whole new world of things for me. Because before I did everything manually, I wouldn't schedule a post in advance for the longest time. I know it's ridiculous. I wasn't saving myself any time. So when I found this class on Skillshare, it was an instant watch for me. ChatGPT for creatives, AI-powered SEO, marketing, and productivity by Peggy Dean. So I jumped into ChatGPT, but for some reason I am so awful at coming up with good prompts to get what I need, and that's just what I learned and needed from Peggy's class. I also appreciate the focus of the class being geared towards creatives, because it feels like most AI and automation content and information is geared toward highly technical tech bros. So I needed Peggy's down-to-earth vibes. Here's how it is used for all this marketing, SEO, and social media work that you have to do to get noticed, and here's what you can take from my class to apply it to your own creative work. And then the time that you save, go use it for other creative work or to fuel other parts of your day. So Skillshare has been a great place for me in learning about these new systems that I'm trying to implement in my workflow. And if you're in the same boat as me, maybe you're not a new mom, but maybe you're in this kind of new season of life where you have to be very selective with your time. Maybe you're struggling with planning as well. Skillshare is definitely a good place to start with finding classes to implement these new workflows. If you'd like to learn how to leverage AI like me, or just simply explore your creativity, Skillshare is the best place for you to do so. If you're not already familiar with Skillshare, they are the largest online learning community with thousands of amazing classes on a wide range of skills like writing, productivity, photography, video editing. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. So with all of that in mind, I wanted to sit down and have a planning session, do a plan with me again using my iPad and my digital planner, because I love filming these, and because I feel like this is what I need. And I need to practice being more okay with having empty spreads, things not going to plan, having so much stuff that I need to move around, it looking like my days are not busy even though they are, because I'm not gonna write down nurse baby every 2 hours on my calendar, or spent half an hour trying to get the baby down for a nap. You know, I'm just not gonna write those things down. They're not gonna be on my calendar, but the things that I do need on my calendar, I need to plan. And I know these are things many of you are struggling with as well. I used to think it was so strange being bothered by empty pages in a planner, especially a digital planner, since you can just not go to those pages, but I get it now. So let's plan July, shall we? Okay, so starting with a blank July, I'm just gonna hop back into previous months and grab from those. So these are highlighters and GoodNotes, and these are icons from the Planning Icons sticker set over at KDigitalStudio.com, and I'm just using the Enter font to write this text. So it kind of just looks like its own sticker. I'm just going to copy and paste those over into July. And I'll hit paste. And then I can move over my deadlines this way. So these are my finances, things that I need to make sure I'm paying each month. So I'm just gonna hop in and copy and paste those onto the correct dates in July, since all of this kind of stays the same month to month anyway. All right, so that looks like all of my finances for the month are already over for this. I am using the M2 13-inch iPad Air. This is in the purple colorway, and I'm using the Pencil Pro. GoodNotes does have new updates that I haven't had a chance to share yet, actually. The tape feature that they've added, and like a few other things, a customizable toolbar. So if you're interested in an updated GoodNotes tips video, a GoodNotes walkthrough, do let me know. There have been a few changes to GoodNotes, but nothing that I feel is like super big and life-changing. They do have squeeze support with Apple Pencil Pro, but since I have the Pencil Pro, I'm actually able to access that feature. That feature won't be accessible to everyone since it uses the power of Pencil Pro. But yeah, that's something I can also access within GoodNotes as well. That's new. So squeeze to pull up the menu and squeeze to dismiss the menu. Sometimes I forget that's still a feature in GoodNotes that I can access. I'm still used to kind of coming up to my toolbar to access the tools. So that has taken some getting used to. So for July, I want to go in and grab from my stickers. So I'm going to come to my main section within GoodNotes. I'm going to come to my stickers folder, and then I want to go to my holiday section because I got the 4th of July and stuff like that in July, so I want to add that in. I think I might go with the colors for this one. So I do have these in neutral colors, and I also have this in pastel colors, and I think I will use the colors today. So I'm going to add in the 4th of July sticker here, which is on a Thursday this year. And then I'll just adjust that in place. As far as other stuff in July, I genuinely don't know if we will have anything going on or planned in the month of July. I do want to come back though. I want to come back out of here and go to my goals and projects widget because I do have, work things that I would hope to accomplish in July. And we are hoping to travel for the first time with our baby. Traveling as in through aircraft. So I want to plan that. So let me find that sticker pack for my widgets. Let's see. So my goals and project planning widget, and it looks like I got some blue and green going here. So I think I'll stick with that. I'll go with this pastel green within my sticker file, and we'll go with ongoing projects. I'll go with the bigger one. So I'll just copy and paste that over into my digital planner. If you've seen my other plan with me's, you know that how I'm planning is kind of how I've planned almost for the entire year. Like since Cyberry, this Cyberry digital planner has been released. I really like to have kind of my widgets float here in the corner on my monthly spreads. So I'm gonna have that there, and I want to grab another one, and I'll grab that in the pastel blue, and I'll have that be a smaller widget. Copy and paste that over into my plan. And I'll just have that floating there. Or maybe I'll have it in the top corner. We'll see how it goes there right now. So I'm gonna hop back into my yearly overview because there's some things that I have going on. So I want to launch student and teacher planners and subject notebooks for that month, and I also need to start working on Cyberry. So I'm going to come back to July, and I'm going to have this be the work widget that I'm going to set, and right now I have it set to my KDigitalStudio font. I might leave it as that, honestly. And I need to start design work on Cyberry 2025, which is crazy to think about because I got started with Cyberry 2021. Okay, start design work on Cyberry 2025. What I can do to move the font or the text where I want on my image, I can come to my lasso tool and deselect images, and then I'm able to pick up and lasso and move things within GoodNotes without picking up certain things. So be sure to click or tap on this lasso again and deselect things that you're not using for your lasso. So if I don't need to pick up images and I'm picking up stuff like text or handwriting that's on an image, deselect that, make your life easier so you're not accidentally picking up stuff that you don't want to pick up. I'm gonna come back to my text tool and I'll be writing launch, student planners, teacher planners. I don't know how realistic this will be, but we'll see. And subject notebooks. And I'm using Scribble to write this. That is a lot. I'll get rid of one of the planners. I'll just say launch student and teacher planners and subject notebooks. I might have that be its own line. So I'll erase that. What I like about Scribble is that I can be pretty messy with my handwriting, and it still does a great job of knowing what I was trying to write. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna have for that widget. The font that I'm using here is the KDigitalStudio font, so if you like that font, I'll have that linked below. But it's just a nice handwritten font. It's actually my handwriting, and so I like using that in my planner because it feels more true to life and like written out than using the Enter font sometimes does. But I like using both interchangeably. So I need to start the design work on Cyberry 2025, which is crazy to think about. I want to launch student and teacher planners. Student planners are probably more realistic than teacher planners, but I hope to release both of them. We'll see how that goes. Mom life is, mom life is crazy. And then launch some subject notebooks. Personal goals for July. I either would like to take the trip to see family or plan the trip. So I'll write that down. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to leave those as my two goals for now. So now that I have that ready to go, I think I would like to also put in tentative dates for these launches. So if I come back to my yearly overview, I have that set as the 3rd week of July. I really like to have student and teacher planners out in early July because I know this is kind of like back to school period, this kind of July through September. But everybody starts school at different times within this period, and so for some people July feels too late to be looking for a planner, and for other people it feels really early, especially if you start more towards in September. So it's kind of like a tough period for me because I don't want to do it too late, I don't want to do it too early, and I don't want people to forget about a student or teacher planner launch. So I guess I might go with the 21st through the 27th, just because we're already into June and I feel like I need to spend or have more time working on that. I'm going to use my highlighter tool. I have it set to 4.0 millimeters for this, and this is the color I have set. So that is the hex value. I think I'm going to go with kind of like a blue, orange, green setup for this. I kind of like how that looks. I think I'm going to have it be this week. I might do a thicker highlight actually. So 6.95 is the other highlight preset that I like to use. I like to have small, thin, and thick for this. and then I'm just going to write launch week for student stuff or academic stuff. Because I have to be so selective with my time and what I spend my time on, everything just feels so tentative, and I kind of don't like that feeling, but I have to get used to that and be okay with stuff changing or things not getting released as timely as I'd like them to be, or just not even being released at all, and just be really happy and proud with what I am able to get out, because it is very important for me to still be able to design and launch things and also provide for my family, since this is kind of my livelihood, but also like it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I've spent less time doing, which has been hard. So just being kind to myself during my planning session here. So now that I have that in place, I honestly don't think I have really much else to plan for this month. Everything is kind of, Groundhog Day over here of just trying to make it to bedtime essentially with our baby. But I'm looking forward to this month. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. My baby's getting older. It'll be a lot of fun to start solids and all of that. So I do want to, make note of that for myself, is that it's going to get more fun as he gets older. So now we have that in place. I could also add in some kind of decor, make this spread a little bit more exciting and feel a bit better about it. So I'm gonna hop over into my stickers folder and see what I have going on. So that is one way that you can kind of fill out more of your spreads, is that if you find that your spreads are looking kind of like mine and maybe you want to spruce them up a bit, there's nothing wrong with adding in some decorative stickers as well. Make yourself feel better, So hopping into my stickers folder, I created a whole folder in GoodNotes, and I've just added in all my GoodNotes sticker files in here. And so these are all the sticker files for KDigitalStudio that I like to use. And I'm just kind of going through and seeing what I might want to use. So I do have one called July Monthly, and this is when I used to release monthly sticker sets for July and monthly template sets for July. And this one is kind of like a greenhouse theme, which I really like, because we've really got a whole greenhouse going now, or at least my husband does, and that's been really fun to see it grow and get so filled up with plants. And we have a community garden in our neighborhood now, which is a lot of fun. And so I might incorporate some of these stickers just because I think they're a lot of fun. So I have kind of a black outline one, and then I have this watercolor one. I'm just kind of pulling in kind of the same color tone as the stickers that I added. So I'm gonna come under lasso and select images again and copy and paste this over into my planner and decorate it a bit. Fill out some of that empty space. And then I might pull in some of these other stickers. Greenhouse cat, and we do actually have a greenhouse cat. We have a stray that we take care of, and she loves hanging out in the greenhouse. I might put her here. And then incorporate some ladybugs, some garden shears. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do for July. If your July looks kind of like mine, you kind of don't know where to plan or put things because it's probably going to change or move back or cancel it or things like that, it's definitely okay to have a spread that kind of looks like mine. One way that is great as far as planning and a little bit of journaling is to make space on your spreads for a little bit about what you actually did that day. You need to get into a better habit of doing that. And so I plan on doing that. Cyberry, if you don't already know, has multiple calendars. So there's actually 5 monthly calendars. And this is great if you want to separate your kids' schedule versus your husband's schedule or your girlfriend's schedule, things like that. You can actually separate those out. I tend to just use the 1 monthly calendar. I have used, 2 or 3 multiple calendars within a month before for writing out things like my workout schedule or meal planning. And I've even done it for things like adding in a picture and journaling about the day. But since I have so few things filled out on my monthly as it is now with how life has been in this new season of life. I think I'll actually kind of journal within my monthly spread a little bit. And so what I do, or what I plan to do for that, is I'm actually gonna come in and I'm gonna grab a gray color. And then I'll just kind of write out a dividing line here, and I can use, I can use GoodNotes like Smart Snap feature of just holding my line to straighten it. And then I can come in and journal a little bit here, so I could write, something about my day for the July 1st date, or what happened that day, because even if I don't have specific things marked out on calendar planned, there's still stuff that happened to that day, and I can write about it there. And I think that'll be really helpful, especially with my baby. Things are moving fast, he's growing fast, and so it'll be helpful to kind of write in what we did together that day, and that could be a lot of fun. And I'm taking so many pictures of my baby, of course, and so I could also incorporate the other monthly calendars and add those in, kind of see his growth day to day, because he changes that often where, one day he looks itty bitty, and then the next day he looks like a completely different baby. So that's kind of how I plan to use my month for this. I do also like to use my weeklies here and there. So the Siberia planner has 3 weekly pages. Is that if I click near the top of the weekly box, it brings me to the time blocking date, the time blocking weekly, I mean. But if I click near the center of the box, it brings me to a horizontal weekly. And with Siberia 2024, the horizontal weekly was customizable, and I chose this weekly box layout for this. Or if I click near the bottom, it's a blank weekly, and that allows me to draw in or paste in my own weekly pages, and I can also access the other weekly pages using the menu bar here. I really like using the horizontal lately because I don't time block out my days specifically anymore, but this used to be really helpful when I had a more structured or planned day, but lately I really like the fluidity of using the horizontal weekly layout, and I want to use some of these stickers for that as well. So I have the weekday stickers here that I want to incorporate, so I'm going to copy and paste those over. So I can already have a setup for my week here as well. So I'm just going to put those into place. I'll probably highlight some of the weekdays here since I want to draw attention to those. Awesome. And then I can come back, and one thing that I am trying to be very aware and cognizant of is my habits, and so I want to add in my habits section here. But right now I'm kind of running out of space. I could put it here actually. That could be a good spot, so I'm going to actually put that there. So I'll copy and paste that over. I'm going to use just the outline color here. Let me resize that some more. And then I can actually just write in my habits here. So one of those is a scar massage because I did have a C-section. So I have a bit of a C-section shelf where the scar tissue is adhering. So I want to make sure I'm using my cupping and massaging the scar daily. Also taking my postnatals. I noticed on days that I forget to take my postnatals are days where I don't feel great. So I want to make sure I'm taking my postnatals. I also want to make sure I'm getting outside in the sunshine. So get sunshine or get some sunshine. Those are like the 3 main things I want to make sure I'm doing for myself. And I'm going to hit ignore because GoodNotes does not like me using that. And then I'm just going to write out my own tracker here using the grid. So I'm just going to write the days of the week here in the grid. So don't forget that you can always amend your spreads like this and make it really easy to have your own kind of go in here. And then I'll do a line. And then whenever I am ready to mark off my habits, I can just use the highlighter tool and kind of select a smaller size and then kind of go in here to mark off my habits like this. So that was a good place for that. So I'll have that be there. And then let's come back to my stickers here. I do have a to-do section, so I think I'll copy that and paste that over here. And then this is the last week of June, so what I can do is highlight this to represent that I'm in the last week of June. So I think that's how I'm going to set up for this week. I don't know if there's anything else that I want to set up. I guess I could set up a gratitude. That would be really helpful. And then we have a priorities. So I'm going to select, I'm going to lasso and copy these over. And then I want to copy over the, yeah, that's good. I'm going to copy over don't forget to paste that there. So I have a priorities in a next week section. I'm going to turn the next week section into the don't forget. And I'm just going to rearrange and hide that title, and then I'm going to put my priorities here. So I'll resize that and put that there. This ended up being a really great set to use for this month because it feels like I'm filling it out pretty well. I'm going to use the kind of whiteout trick to convert some of this section into my gratitude section since I've run out of space here. So what I can do is I can do my lasso if you haven't seen that kind of digital planning tricks video that I've shared, and I'll have that link below for you if you're interested. But I just lassoed a blank section of my planner. If I tap within it, it takes a screenshot, come to my share icon and hit copy. And then I can just long press anywhere in my planner and hit paste. And it pasted in that copied blank section of my planner. And then I can resize and cover parts of my planner and make essentially additional space within my planner. So I'm just going to cover up some of the to-do list here and turn it into a gratitude section. And I can resize and then have a gratitude section there. And so I can put some gratitude for the week because I definitely need that. It does use the screenshot as an image, and thankfully goodness added a very small layer tool, so I can just circle this pasted section and then come to arrange and then send to back, so I can have that sticker, the gratitude sticker, up front. All right, so now that I have that in place, I think I'm going to be all set for how I want to plan for this week of July. So that's how I'm going to have it set up for my planner this month. I could go in and write in my notes, finances, wellness, my goals, or my review section here. This will be at the end of month, of course. Here's my goals section within Cyberry, the wellness page. This is also where I can do additional tracking. So if you don't want to have a habit tracker on your daily or your weekly pages within Cyberry, this is also a great place to keep track of your habits as well. And you can just refer back to this page. And then there's the finances page, and then the notes page for things like meetings and stuff that I like to write in. And there's also a longer checklist there. But if I'm going to be honest with you, because things are just so up in the air with how life is now, I think if I fill out any of these pages, I'm going to forget about it or not use these pages. So I'm just going to leave it as this for my monthly, and then this is the setup for my weekly. And then once I get into this week and know how things are going or things that I want to accomplish, then I can start filling out my deadlines here. But these are the habits I know I want to use, and this is kind of the setup I know I want to go for. And then I got my bills in place, and I have some ongoing projects I know that I want to accomplish this month, some goals that I want to accomplish this month that are more personal. And this is kind of how I'm going to start with planning. And I do hope to at least journal a little bit about what happened each day within my digital planner, just so I can have a kind of convert it a bit into a journal as well, kind of document things that are going on in life, because it feels like a lot's going on, but then I come back to my planners and it's just blank emptiness that makes me kind of sad. So I'm going to leave it to this. I think this is just how I'm going to plan for a while now. And if you're in the same boat as me, I definitely sympathize. With you. But it's okay to have this, and I feel like Cyberry especially is minimal enough where it honestly looks okay if it's all filled out and messy like it does some months for me, and then it's okay if it looks, a little empty like it does right now lately. So that was my July plan with me for this month. A little bit different than my usual content, but I hope that you enjoyed this plan with me. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to be down in the comments, chatting with you all, connecting with you all again. I really missed filming these plan with me's. And of course, everything that I used in this video will be linked in the description. But if you're going through a new period of life or a new season of life like me, and you're finding it really hard to keep up with your planner, or you just find yourself planning and then just things not going to plan because that's just kind of where you're at in life now, I totally understand. I totally get it. I feel like I get it more now than I did before, when things were just so structured for my day of wake up at this time, go to bed at this time, work during this time. And even with things like school and college, like things always come up, of course, but your day is pretty structured. You kind of have more of a routine, and that's just something that I've kind of lost as a new mom, and I'm slowly trying to get back into and incorporate, because of course someone like me thrives off planning and thrives off routine, and that's just not where I've been the last few months. My digital planner has been pretty sad, so I think just sitting down in this planning session has really helped me kind of ground myself and my thoughts. And even though things aren't going as planned, or even if this month everything that I've planned out for July just doesn't work out, I feel better knowing that I took the time to sit down with my iPad and my digital planner and put that in my planner. And maybe that's all I need, and maybe that's all you need to just sit down, have kind of like a mental health session almost with your digital planner, and just get things down. And even if it doesn't work out, that's okay, because it's just a planner. It's just a planner. So I hope you enjoyed this plan with me session. If you have any feedback for me or things that you would like to see in future planning sessions, I would be happy to know that, because I know I have things to share. It's just I feel like I need you all to tell me what to share. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next month in the next plan with me session, hopefully. And of course, I will see you in my next video next week, where we're hopping into all things iPad, creative tutorials, digital planning. So if you want to stick around and you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.